if you're in a currency like a very weak developing nation currency where it's collapsing at 100%, 100% inflation a year or more, you're sweeping your local proceeds, into a combination of dollars that you're going to hold for 12 months, and then Bitcoin that you're going to hold for 12 years, right? And if you think in terms of your long-range asset, your short-range asset, and your immediate currency, then I think you'll probably be in good stead.
According to Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy's co-founder and executive chairman, a brief rally the cryptocurrency market is consolidating again in what looks like a continuous loop of good news and bad news for the industry, and Bitcoin is no exception. But some of its technical analysis indicators are suggesting a bullish future for the maiden cryptocurrency. Specifically, Bitcoin has recently undergone the third stochastic relative strength index bullish crossover on the 2-month chart, indicating an extremely bullish signal in macro view. Meanwhile, the price of Bitcoin at press time stood at $23,865, recording a downswing of 2.03%, but at the same time representing an increase of 9.73% across the previous 7 days. Appetite for risky assets might struggle over the short term, which could support a Bitcoin consolidation as long as a regulatory crackdown does not take down a key stablecoin or crypto company. While forecasts of higher rates weigh down on the values of future cash flows, increasing global liquidity is helping raise asset prices.
I think one of the lessons is you have to separate your P&L from your balance sheet. So if the way that you're making money is and Ross's letter, he points out that they make money with 10 different strategies. One of them is Bitcoin. The other 9 strategies are firmly grounded in the conventional economy of the world. So if you're a doctor, you stay a doctor, you're the best doctor you can be, you serve your patients the best, and you maximize your income as a doctor. And then on your balance sheet, you have assets, and on your balance sheet you would have a variety of assets. Whatever property you're going to hold for a long period of time, you could have a diversified portfolio of property, of digital property like Bitcoin, and you might very well hold real estate, and you might own a share in a company, right? But separate your balance sheet from your P&L. At MicroStrategy, we have a traditional enterprise software company, and we keep 99% of our employees focused upon that business, which generates substantial cash flows. And that's what allows us to pursue our Bitcoin strategy by sweeping those cash flows into Bitcoin in a form of corporate dollar cost averaging. I think where things get dangerous, which is what happened with FTX, is all of a sudden the way they make money is also their balance sheet strategy. Yeah. And if you're going to have a balance sheet with a bunch of FTT token, and then you're going to use it as collateral to borrow against it to generate yield, when the token collapses, the P&L collapses, and vice versa, and the entire thing becomes a house of cards.
Seems so obvious too.
Hindsight is always 20/20, and then of course, to the extent that you actually take on any debt, you generally want to take debt that is secured against assets that don't get marked to market. Like the best form of debt is I have a mortgage against a house, and the bank's not going to show up at my door and value my house down by 80% on Monday and then ask me to repay the mortgage on Tuesday. Right? But, use common sense, right? If you were to borrow against a stock, like a liquid asset like Apple stock or S&P index, or even against Bitcoin, you want to be ready for 80% drawdown.
Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy disclosed that it's raised $46.6 million via share sales since it entered an agreement with underwriter Cowen & Company in September for the sale of up to $500 million in common stock. MicroStrategy held approximately 132,500 Bitcoin worth $2.2 billion, a value boosted by the recent crypto market rally. Saylor emphasized he has no plans to split MicroStrategy's enterprise software and Bitcoin businesses as they are interconnected. However, Saylor has also been very clear about his preference for Bitcoin over other cryptocurrencies, including Ether. Saylor has been quoted as saying that Ether is a science experiment and that its use cases are limited compared to Bitcoin's potential. While MicroStrategy has made a significant investment in Bitcoin, has also more recently been involved in a project to create a Bitcoin mining council that aims to promote sustainable mining practices. With the asset also viewed as an investment vehicle, proponents have placed several growth targets that can be achieved as the crypto space matures.
I think we need to educate a lot more people. What keeps me up at night is that there are so many mainstream influencers, so many policy makers, so many investors and money managers that still don't understand half an hour or an hour worth of Bitcoin fundamentals. But the world is still full of incredible numbers of people at every level, from the top ranks of our government to leaders, captains of industry, down to rank and file. The world's full of people that don't understand the theory of money. They don't understand what money is, right? They would say, oh, money is a medium of exchange. Okay, so therefore I guess the peso is just as good as the dollar, is just as good as Bitcoin, because they're all just mediums of exchange to somebody, right? And so the lack of awareness of the theory of money, that's something that keeps you up at night. The world is full of people that don't understand the power of an open, permissionless monetary network. So most people, they don't realize that money is technology. They don't really understand what true non-defective money is, because every monetary system in the history of the world has collapsed, and every money that's ever been invented before Bitcoin was objectively defective mathematically and physically. And so because people don't have that fundamental understanding of the physics of money, and they don't understand that money is technology, they're not looking for the solution. They have this massive blind spot. But they do have power, right? The world is full of people with money, with power, and with influence that are ignorant of these two basic principles. And the first principle explains to you why you would want to own Bitcoin. And the second principle explains to you why the future is 8 billion people with devices plugging in via the Lightning protocol to each other to trade and to run the economy of the 21st century. So we have to go and educate those leaders so that they embrace and adopt this physically perfected money and this ethical open network.
Bitcoin is money, and that's the largest and most important use case impacting the most people in the world, which is why I believe that ordinals and other use cases both known today and yet to emerge will remain niche. As an advisor with clients with Bitcoin and questions on ordinals, the most significant takeaways revolve around what makes Bitcoin unique. Most, if not all, other cryptocurrencies are decentralized in name, only Bitcoin is not. But due to the decentralized nature of Bitcoin, developers are free to modify Bitcoin's current rule set. If demand is there and the modifications result in splits in Bitcoin holders and the community, investors will have a choice over what to do with their money. The decentralized nature of the ecosystem has seen a section of the market align Ether with flipping Bitcoin in the future. In the meantime, Ether has been attempting to hold above $1,600 as the asset targets, reclaiming $1,800. One crucial factor would be the continued restoration of investors' trust in the crypto market, which needs to be widespread to establish a conducive atmosphere for Ether's substantial and sustained growth. Michael Saylor believes that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will rock in the coming years. Do you expect these assets to perform beyond investors' expectation? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like our content, give this video a big thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel.